Um, well, it's afternoon now. But when I thought about recording this, it was still morning. And I've had this on my heart for quite some time, but you all know I am not going to do anything until I am moved. And I moved. This past week has been interesting. This morning, very, I don't want to say difficult. So I'm going to try to not make this long, and if I have to do a part 2, then I will. Most of people know that I have 3 children and a grandson. Friend. Everybody loves friend. I have 2 beautiful daughters and a lovely son, DJ. At around 18 months, maybe a little earlier, my son was diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder. At birth, everything was fine. He developed fine. He was off the charts in everything that he was doing. He was talking. Everything was fine. And then it stopped. It was difficult to acknowledge or accept. Okay, I'm back. Yes, I've changed locations. So, as I was saying, it was difficult to understand, or not even accept, but just difficult to understand. Because when he was younger, he was still a toddler, so a lot of the behaviors and things that he would do were kind of unique and normal for that age group. But as he's gotten older, it has become, for me, not difficult. I can't even put into words. My son stands almost 6 feet tall, and he is 13. He just turned 13 in October. But neurologically, he is not 13. However, my son is very intelligent. He is considered nonverbal because he does not conduct or have conversations or communicate the way that most people do. But he does have words. He does understand. But because of his diagnosis, he gets frustrated easily. He may seem like he has a little ADHD because he's constantly moving. However, my son is in the top reading group in his school. My son can type, spell words. Like, there's so much in his brain that if I could just be in his brain, And so this morning, as I was getting him ready and I'm looking at him, and I'm just like, what do I do? I know how I feel, but I can only imagine how a man feels when it's your son, your first son, and your only son, and you have these dreams of him playing football or, just participating in any sport. And that is not to say that my son cannot do those things, because I am well aware of the fact that when determined enough, or if it is something that he is interested in, my son will do it, leaps and bounds. My son could be a track star. My son could be a hacker. There are so many talents hidden inside of him. Because I have to work to support my children, to maintain a quality of life for my family. There are many benefits that he does not qualify for. So people will say, do you do this? Do you do that? I've tried everything. And I'm always met with, he doesn't qualify, or you can pay out of pocket. So I make too much to qualify for the benefit, but I don't make enough to consistently pay for these things out of pocket. So one of my many concerns, not just, it's my concern for my children overall, but especially for my son, is what happens to him if something happens to me. Even in the sense that I just want to go out for a moment and get some air, I ask my daughters. I don't just assume, I ask them if they can look after their brother. And they both say, Mom, you don't have to ask. But yes, I do. Because he is not their responsibility. When you pray and you are persistent in your prayer, God will answer. And I prayed. I always wanted a little boy. And God gave me a little boy. And he gave me so much more. And one of my go-to Bible verses is lean not to your own understanding. Because I truly don't understand. And I feel that I fail him. And I fail my daughters. And I fail myself. Every moment of the day. I don't understand. But we're here. In these last few weeks, I've had and a friend lost her husband to cancer. He was 39. A very close friend of mine lost her father on a Monday and her grandmother that following Sunday. Life is important. Relationships are important. I went to Sumter, South Carolina. Yes, I am a product of Sumter, South Carolina. But I went there because my father had to have a biopsy done. And this is why communication is so important. Because there are certain things that run in a family. Genealogy, generations. There's certain things that are just there. But if you don't share those things, how will you know? So my father has to have this procedure done. And he tells me that they refused to do it because he didn't have anyone to drive him home. Well, sir, you're under anesthesia. You can't drive yourself home. Now, mind you, I know where I get it from. My mom and my daddy are both the same. And I've done it. So, but I said, if you need me, I will be there. Regardless of what relationship exists or doesn't exist, what happened or didn't happen. I know who I am. And if my father needs me, I'm going to go. Because I know he wouldn't ask. So I went. Relationship, communication. You know, we all have, as a parent, as an aunt, as an uncle, a sister, a brother, grandparents, whatever, we all have this idea of what we want for our children, for our friends, for our significant other. We all have this idea of what we want for them. But what we want for them means nothing if that is not what they want for themselves. So what we have to do is be supportive in that. Good, bad, or indifferent. You be a reasoning ear. You be a willing heart. You be someone that is there to support them. When they succeed at it, you cheer them on. If they fall short, you lift them up. But whatever it is, let go of your idea of what's best for them and let them live. Because I promise you, there were things that you wanted to do that your parents didn't want you to do. You wanted to play in the NBA. You wanted to play in the NFL. Heck, you wanted to be a garbage man. And your parents probably said, a garbage man? Really? I wanted you to be a doctor. I wanted you to be a lawyer. But if being a garbage man makes you happy, be the best garbage man. Ride on the back of that truck and bring people joy because you picking up the trash. My grandfather always said, even if you a drug addict, you better be the best one. Now, I don't condone it. Am I going to support your habit? No. But if that is what you desire to be, you better be the best. We spend too much time on cutting each other down when we need to spend more time building each other up. Not pointing out flaws or where you went wrong or you shouldn't have done. And I know because I'm guilty of it. And when I say to my daughter, I want you to be better than me, and she says, but what you are ain't bad. Listen, when my daughter told me she was pregnant, I wasn't mad. I was a little disappointed because I know the struggles I had at 22 trying to raise her by myself. Now, granted, I had a village of people that stepped up and stood up and showed out for me, with me, that ran by my side, took her to class with them, watched her, and didn't ask me for a dime. But I didn't want that for her. But if God saw fit for her to have to walk this path, it ain't nothing I can do about it. All I can do is play my position and stay in my place. Because all my life I've been trying to save the world, and that ain't my job. When I say go forth and be great, on purpose, with purpose, because you have purpose, I mean that. Everything that I say, even when it doesn't make any sense, even when I feel like nobody's watching, it is coming from a place that I can't even grasp. Because sometimes I don't even make sense to myself. But what I do know is that I have been torn down to nothing. And it was something within me. Because I have people in my life that truly care. And they're not going to coddle me. They're not going to lie to me. I have people that see me the way that I don't see myself. I will see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Because the old things have passed away. We are under grace. You got to trust and believe the promise and walk it out. Nobody said it'd be easy. You're going to have some hard times, but you are going to win. So go forth and be great, on purpose, with purpose, because you have purpose, and I love you for real.